Hi everybody, thanks for joining me for another tutorial in Melinda's Rubber Room. I'm Melinda Pierce and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here today to show you how to make 3 different cards. These cards were shown in my in-person class here in California, and if you purchase the card kit in the mail, you would have received all of the supplies to make these 3 cards, and I'm going to now show you how to put them together. So if you want any more information, just hop over to my Facebook page at Melinda's Rubber Room, and you can get all the information there onto as far as ordering the kit or any future classes that I have. Right, I'm going to point you down to my work surface and we'll get right to it. All right, so I've already glued on my 2 triangle pieces here. These are slightly different than the one that I sent in the mail and that I have as a sample. I did run out of this beautiful designer series paper, so I switched over to another very pretty one. So you would have received the base card in the mail as well as the triangles. So you just glue those into place, and the white piece gets glued into place as well. So if you ordered the card kit, I was not able to stamp these images for you. That isn't permitted by Stampin' Up! But I did provide you some pre-cut images from designer series paper that you can use for this card. But I did want to show you real quickly how I got these images. So this is actually stamped directly onto designer series paper and then cut out with the die cuts. So I have some of the designer series paper here. I've already stamped the images and have attached my dies to those images. Let's see if I can get this one back into place. Like so. I'm going to bring in my mini cut and emboss machine and get these plates set up. This is such a cute little machine, and you can travel so easily with it. It doesn't take up much room on your work surface at all. So it's easy to have right there handy for you to use. There are my 2 roses. Punch those right out. And I have a little magnetic board next to me. That's where I put my dies when I'm done using them. That way I don't lose them. So it's just a piece of magnet material that I attach to a piece of cardboard. Super simple and easy and not too expensive to make. Okay, I have one more leaf here I need to cut out. There we go. And then these 2 sides fold up on the machine, so you can just store it away. All right, so now I have my flowers cut out, and I have my 2 leaves. I still need to do the die cut for the words. So I'm going to stamp my words first and then die cut them out. You always want to do that so that you can make sure that when you're placing your die, the words are nice and centered. That way you don't need to worry about that when you're stamping your words. So just stamp my words and then center it using the die instead of the other way around. I'm going to put that fairly high up on the die so that I can put flowers underneath it. I do need to bring in my machine again. Put that right on top. There's the die cut image. So you can see, even though that little mini cut and emboss machine is small, it does cut out quite a few of the images that you need. So I find it quite handy to have. Okay, so now we have our words right here, and we're just going to attach it so that it only has glue on this part of the die so that it doesn't glue the whole card shut. So it's the hardest part for me to remember. So I'm just going to put my thumb right here. I know that way it's from this angle down to my thumb, or from this corner down to my thumb. Just like that. You don't need to put a ton of glue on there. Just like that. I think I'm going to move it up just a little bit. It's one of the reasons why I like using glue. It just gives you a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, so now we have our little roses. So I'm going to raise one up with dimensionals. I find it's easiest to just raise the flower up and then slide the leaves underneath it after you raise the flowers up, rather than trying to raise the leaves up as well. So now I'm going to bring these leaves in, and I think I'm just going to do it that way. So this stamping on your designer series paper, it's a great way to use up little scraps of designer series paper too. Looks beautiful with if you're stamping butterflies and having kind of this watercolor wash look behind it. It's a fun little technique. Okay, so there is the completed front of the card. And then I'm just going to open it and stamp my happy birthday in there. Again, I'm using Night of Navy because that is what cardstock I used. Just like so. And then I have this flower that I'm going to put right down on the bottom. So these stamps, all of the flowers and the happy birthday come from this Happiness Abounds set. And I think the designer series paper is called Hues of Happiness that correspond with this. It is in the main catalog, so you can check that out there. So really nice set. All right, so that is that completed card. See what else we have in our buckets. Okay, so the next one is this one here. So if you purchase the card kit, you'll have everything that you need to make this card. These images here are cut from designer series paper. And you're going to have the lattice already cut for you, as well as a designer series piece of paper. And what you're going to do is just take that lattice and kind of eyeball where you want to cut it so that you have an area down here to put your greeting. So what I'm going to do is just kind of mark it with my thumbnail, and I'm just going to cut right across that lattice. And then once you have the top and bottom figured out, I'm going to go ahead and cut this top off too because it's not very pretty the way it is. I wasn't too careful cutting it. So after you have the height figured out, then you're going to glue it to your designer series paper. I'm just using regular cardstock here because again I ran out of the designer series paper. So for the sample I'm just using regular cardstock, and I'm just going to put little dots of glue on some of these intersections. You don't need to do all of them on this lattice, just enough to hold it in place. Definitely do the top and the bottom and the sides. But remember, you are going to cut off the sides. I'm going to trim those down a little bit. All right. I'm going to anchor that on the top. This side looks okay, so I'm going to keep that side kind of as is, and then I'll cut off the left side. Okay, now I'll go back and cut off this excess. All right, and then I have a piece of this gorgeous ribbon. It's in the In Colors in the current Stampin' Up! Catalog. It's really pretty, really vibrant colors in the new In Colors. Really soft and pliable. You make beautiful bows. The catalog just does not give it justice, so make sure you check that out. It's really gorgeous. So I'm just going to wrap this around the front, kind of covering up that bottom line of the lattice, and then I'm just going to take some tape and tape it along the back. So now I can go ahead and attach it to my Starry Sky Designer Series paper, or cardstock actually. Starry Sky is one of our new In Colors. It's a gorgeous blue. Actually, I think this is the Orchid Opulence. So actually, it's also very pretty. Can't remember if that's the right name for it. That might be an old name. All right, so this one is just going to be attached directly to the top. Before I do that, I am going to stamp my thank you. And once again, I'm calling on the go-to greetings for that. I think I already have that out, so I'm just going to do just a note. I love having just blank cards. You can use anytime you want. All right, there's the greeting. And then I'm just going to take the little bow that is included in your packet. I'm going to take a little mini glue dot. Take the bow to the glue dot and lift it up. It's much easier than taking the glue dot off of the paper and then trying to attach the bow. Okay, so there is that, and then we can go ahead and glue this to the card base. So I don't think I have any more flowers cut out, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp those and cut them out. And I'm going to stamp it in the Starry Sky because that is what matches the ribbon. So this stamp set is True Beauty, and it is in the current catalog, and it does come with dies and corresponding designer series paper, which is what I used on this card here. To stamp the flowers. and Old Olive. I need to re-ink my Old Olive. I'm going to actually stamp that again using my Mossy Meadow. It's going to come out a little bit darker. Let's see if I can stamp it right on top. Taking a challenge here. Oh, close enough. Has a little bit of a shadow, but that's okay. Kind of like that look. All right, so I'm going to bring in my dies. Again, if you bought the card kit in the mail, you don't have to do this stamping. I've already given you images that you can use on your card. All right, I'll bring my cut and emboss machine back in. So the sandwich just consists of these two plates, number 1 and number 2. Goes on top, and the dies, and then number 3 goes on top of that. Or I guess it's number 2 as well. There's 2 number 2 plates. Okay, those popped out. All right, so again, I'm going to raise the flower part up with dimensionals. And I'm going to glue the leaves on and the stem. I'm going to glue the stem part on first, just so that I know how far up to put the flower. Tuck this in right like so, and put the flower right on top. Oh, need to peel those pieces off the back. There we go. All right, so there is the completed card, and then there is a piece of white cardstock to go on the inside as well. Just like so. And then there's the inside. All right, so that is card number 2. And let's see, card number 3 is pretty easy to put together. So I have a wonderful mother-in-law who cut out all of these floral images. She fussy cut all the flowers from the designer series paper so that we could make this gorgeous card. And I have the supplies in here. So I have the embossed cardstock. This is using the Fern embossing folder. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous embossing folder. And then I have the circle that is from the Poppy stamp set. That's in the current catalog. I think I already put my stamp away that I had used for that. But I will just bring in my handy dandy go-to greetings and use that again. So I think I'm going to use just a note. Same one I used on my last card. And going to use my Mossy Meadow, if I find it. I can't be the only one that stamps like this, where I have a color 1 minute and then it goes away the next. Okay, here it is. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp just a note on my little circle. There we go. That's going to be attached to the front of my card. Put a little bit of glue dot, little dots of glue on this outside of the circle, just so it doesn't get caught in the envelope and things like that. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and glue this Mossy Meadow cardstock onto my base of my card. There we go. All right, the hardest part is picking out the flowers. I did include some of these flowers in the card kits in the mail, so you should have a few to choose from. Let's just see what I pull out here. Looks pretty. I'll go with that. My dimensionals. Running low on those, so I'm just going to cut these end pieces. Waste not, want not. It's just such a cute little card. Okay, and then on the inside, we just have the white piece of cardstock and another flower attached down on the bottom. So a pretty simple card if all the fussy cutting is done for you and your the die cuts are provided for you. So that's a cute little note to send to somebody. And there is the third card. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new, at least how to put together the cards that you ordered in the mail. Sorry, my camera keeps sliding. So if you have any questions, shoot me a message on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Melinda's Rubber Room, or you can leave a message on my YouTube channel as well, and I will get right back to you. All right, I hope you enjoy your day. Don't forget, celebration is right around the corner starting July 1st. With every $50 purchase, you will get a free item of your choice from the celebration offerings. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you. Bye-bye.